Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ET69. Welcome back to the channel. Now today we are going to have a look at the new Titan tank. Yes, the tank that I've been wanting to come back for a very long time. Of course, it is with the February Battle Pass, and if you want to be able to get this tank from the Battle Pass even cheaper, then Huawei are doing a 50% discount for the Premium Pass. That means you will get it for half the price. To be in with a chance to get this for half the price, then you have to download Huawei App Gallery on an Android device or using an emulator for your PC. Now, to be able to do this, when you set Huawei App Gallery up, you need to set the country to UK, Ireland, New Zealand, or Australia. It doesn't matter what country you're from, as long as you set one of those countries, you will be able to get this discount Premium Pass. But on top of the Premium Pass, Huawei are doing a 15% cashback on anything you spend using the Huawei App Gallery, and you will get that back in points that you can spend on what you want. So to be in with a chance, download the Huawei App Gallery now. Go on to in the description. The links are in the description. Just head over to this page. All you have to do is claim that coupon, read the terms and conditions, accept, and it is all yours. That is all you have to do. The links are in the description. If you need any help or any guidance, head over to the Huawei App Gallery Discord server and there will be someone to help you. Back to the video. So, the Titan 150. Most of you probably won't even remember the T150, but I've done many videos on it before and I love it. Wargaming removed it in update 5.5 and they are going to bring it back as a Titan tank. So what is the difference between both tanks? Now, the Titan has better DPM. However, the penetration has taken a big cut, 20 millimeters off that penetration. The alpha is smaller, only 200 alpha, whereas the T150 is 320. However, and the reload, however, is better at 6.4. That's because it is only using the 85 millimeter gun and not the 107. So the shell velocity is slightly worse on the Titan, but the aim time is better. The dispersion is better. The gun depression is the same at 7 degrees. So overall, it's a different gun. I'm not quite sure if this was like this stock gun that the T150 had. I can't really remember what guns that had, but it's not the same gun. But this tank has never really been about the gun. It's always been about the armor. Now, the turret armor is 150 millimeters. That is 50 millimeters more than the T150, and your hull is sitting at 90. What this tank basically did, the T150, it was a side-scraping king. It really was a side-scraping king. Now, when you're coming up against tier 5, 150 millimeters is quite a lot, and you will bounce an awful lot in this tank. You can see here, just looking directly at it, it's not the best. I mean, coming up against tier 7s, people are going to pen you. People will be able to penetrate you. You have that red section in the middle there, and of course you've got the lower plate, sort of 115. The upper plate there, you can get to sort of 300, just over 300, and you do have some strong armor there. And it can bounce. It can really bounce as long as you're not directly looking at the enemy. Again, as I've said, especially in against tier 7s, as long as you're not looking directly at your enemy and you're kind of sort of over angling like we're doing here, this is the best way that I found to play the T150 and the best way that I found to play the Titan. Now, it actually took me quite a few battles to get any replay, really, because I just wasn't performing well in it. I was getting penned by literally everything, but in the end I just went with what I had because I couldn't play it anymore. Even though I love the tank, but when it's not working as it is intended, I love the T150 and I used to enjoy playing the T150, but for some reason this just doesn't feel the same. It can get bounces, but I think that what it was is maybe the alpha. I know I've said it's never been about the gun, but it always helped to have that big alpha and with the armor profile to go with it. So you've really only got that armor profile now. Yes, you got the better DPM, but it does really take a cut with the penetration as well. So you will struggle against some tier 7 tanks, but not really. Tier 7 is not really about armor. It's more about speed and DPM. Of course, when you're coming up against tier 5s, you will really shine. As long as you can angle your tank, tier 5s will struggle to be able to penetrate you. And you can see already this game, we've bounced 760 damage. Not too much, but that's still more than half of our hit points straight away within the first minute of the game. But again, as soon as you show your front plate there, you will get penetrated. So always be careful of that. If you can hide your lower plate and your front plate in general, make sure you do that. And I'm going to show it. I'm going to try to show it anyway. What I mean by over side scraping, over angling. Now you can do this in tanks like the KV4, the KV3, tanks like that works best when you're over angling. And the same as the KV220, that also is really good when you're sort of over angling. Not too much, but more than you would normally do in other tanks. And that's where I found that this tank is it does perform. And you can see me trying to over angle against this Tiger 131, and these are the kind of angles that I'm trying to sort of get at. And you can see that's where we start bouncing. So that these kind of angles is what you need to try and get yourself in. Again, against tier 7s, it's not going to be the best, and they will still be able to penetrate you. It's more in tier 5s and medium tanks. Heavy tanks shouldn't have a problem dealing with you, and we're going to show that here. So again, we're in a tier 7 game, and we're just going to go to the middle here and to see what we can do. So again, it's still a nice tank. It's still a tank that I've been wanting back for a very long time, and considering I'm not sure if it's better than the T150 at the moment, playing it to try and get the footage, I can't really feel that. I've always felt that the T150 was mega strong, but using this, I can't really say it's mega strong, because we just haven't really had the battles. But we still bounce shots. We have still bounced shots. Not all the time, of course, but again, when you're against tier 5, so your first few games when you're against tier 5s, you're going to probably think that this tank is an absolute beast, because it will bounce a lot of shots, and then as soon as you get yourself up to a tier 7 game, that is where you will start to think otherwise. So here we have the KV in to our right, we've got the T29, and now we've got the Black Prince in front. And the Black Prince is not really a tank that I want in front of me. One, I don't have the penetration to deal with him. Yes, I've got APCR, but of course, again, my DPM is going down, and he has almost 3000 DPM, and he's penning me no problem whatsoever. As you can see, we've only bounced 160, which is just one shot from this Black Prince, and that's pretty much all we're going to be able to bounce this game. So now only on 200 hit points, I'm just going to back up, and I don't really want to deal with this Black Prince anymore. I'm just going to wait for him to turn around. As soon as he turns around, I'm going to miss my shot. So yeah, so it's still a good tank. It is still a good tank. That's for cheap, of course, using the Huawei. You can get this for a couple of pound. Of course, I'd never get the battle pass for the tank itself. It's worth, the battle pass is worth the money just with everything else that you're buying, that you get with the tank, and you basically just get the tank for free as a bonus. So I'd always recommend, if you've got a spare few pound, then of course the battle pass is worth getting. There have been some crazy tanks in the battle pass, just like this Cryos here in front of us, which was the January battle pass. Probably the most broken battle pass that Wargaming have ever released. This tank, unfortunately, is nothing like the Cryos. It's not overpowered, it's not broken, but you can still perform well in that tank. And again, as I'm saying, against these lower alpha tanks, the light tanks, the medium tanks, this AMX he's a tier 7, but yet he's still struggling to penetrate, and we managed to bounce a further 300 damage in from him. So the medium tanks, light tanks, stuff like that, yes, you will be able to bounce as long as you're angled correctly. And in tier 5, you should be bouncing most things. As long as you've got your angles correct, you should be bouncing most shots. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm Meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye-bye.